This is my first year doing YouTube. The girls and I started in January with our seed starting. I'm finding I can shoot videos. I can't get them edited with planting, with work, with family obligations, with making dinner and all of those things. I can't edit them. So I'm going to try to get this one up. I'm going to try to say things clearly and concisely so I don't have as much editing to do, so I can just get this video up. That is the goal. But I just wanted to do a quick walk through the garden before I completely run out of daylight. It's a beautiful evening. I think this is the chilliest of our 10-day, which is supposed to be like 41 degrees tonight. Garden's about, let's say 60-70% planted. So I've shot videos of things, planting things. They may never see YouTube. They may never get published just because I don't have the time to go through all the footage. So I'm just going to go through, show you what I've got going on, show you what's up, and we'll go from there. We have some onions there. There's our yellow Spanish onions. There's some radishes behind. I did plant zucchini that's not up. These beautiful flowers here are our turnips that we didn't get harvested, and I'm just letting these go to seed. So they are just beautiful. During the day, they're just covered in pollinators. I have a little footage of a bee on one of these blossoms that I'll insert right about next. And then coming over to here, going down this line, I planted our peas here because there's already a trellis kind of in place, but I added a couple lines, and within a couple hours of me adding these two lines, the peas had started grabbing onto this bottom one to grow up it, and now they are to the bottom of the wire fencing that's here, which is just really cool to watch because you can tell how fast they're growing. It's really cool to see how they just loop right around. Let's see if I can get the focus. Yeah, right around there. I just think that's so cool to see how they do that. Here we've got some cucumbers up. I do need to thin these out. This is going to be too many, but I just threw some in to get rolling. We have some marigolds there, and this side I just did a real light sprinkling of salad mix that's coming up pretty well. I'm hoping that the cucumbers are going to be growing up this trellis, so I'm hoping it's going to give those salad greens a little bit of shade and allow them to go a little bit longer into the season. Now, a while ago I published a video on making black bean hummus, and a friend of mine watched it, and then afterwards we were talking about it. She goes, "Wait, you can grow black beans?" And yeah, you can grow any kind of dried bean. It looks like a string bean, but you just don't pick it until it's fully developed, and then you let it dry. So the bed that I'm about to show you, they blend in, but these are our black beans. This is what the plant looks like right here. You can kind of see, there's the bean right there that it germinated from. This is my third year planting these black beans. The first year I just bought them from Baker Creek. They did great, loved the flavor. The second year I bought some more, and I also saved some, and I planted both the package that I purchased and the saved seed. We ended up with so many last year that I just was able to save enough seed to plant, and so far it looks like almost every single one in this bed is up, or I believe will be soon. So that's really fun to see. My husband and the dog are arguing or discussing. It's hard to tell. So this is our bed of onions. Our very first video, what we started was our onion seeds, and these are those. So very first video, planted onion seeds. That was the end of January. Here we are almost the end of May, and this is what we have going on from those onion seeds. All right, I showed some videos several ago of planting our potatoes. I've done a couple rounds of planting them. You're going to be able to kind of see the difference here, and I have one round that's not quite up yet because they were planted Saturday night about 9 o'clock. So these are the first round that got planted. I am going to get these mulched pretty good, and then this is our second round where you're just seeing them kind of show their heads above the soil. When you plant potatoes, part of the reason of hilling them, mulching them, is you don't want the sun to reach the potato. If the sun hits the potatoes, if they're growing near the surface, they turn green, and that green is not good. I don't know if it's poisonous, toxic, like what level of bad it is, but you don't want to eat a green potato. So the main reason to get it mulched real good is to prevent any potatoes that are growing near the surface from getting sun scald or getting turning green. Okay. This bed here, a little bit of a failure, a little bit of a success. A lot of my brassicas burnt. So some of these are a second try of putting them in the ground. There are some openings in there where there should be plants that they just didn't make it. We are far enough into the season. I'm not 100% sure that these are going to get a chance to produce before it gets too hot and they just bolt and go to seed. But my plan for this bed is once the brassicas are done, I'm going to try to do a second shot of tomatoes for the first time. And we'll see how that goes. More details on that later. Can't get too detailed right now. And I'm sitting next to, here is the garlic. Got 3 different kinds going here. Now, within the next month, these are going to send off scapes, which is like the bud to a blossom. We need to cut those off because what we want is we want the plant to put its energy into creating the bulb, more energy into the bulb. If we allow that blossom to stay on, that bud, and to blossom, then the plant has done its job. It's produced the blossom, it's produced the seed, and it's going to quit. So it's not going to put all its energy back into the bulb, which is where we want it, because that is the garlic. And again, more details to follow, but we will cut those off. We will use those, any place you would use garlic, we use those. We chop them up in a saute, in frittata. We use them, if we have enough basil going, we use them in place of garlic in our pesto. There's lots and lots of places to use them, although I believe pretty much every year I don't get quite all of them used in time, but we do our best. All right, we've got 4 places I have some tomatoes in. We've got, those are German Queen, not German Queen, German Pinks. That is a black strawberry. Amish paste, Amish paste, Amish paste, and I don't remember the one that's furthest down. I have a bad habit of just getting very excited and throwing stuff on the ground. I don't always remember where everything is. So we got another tomato there. And I believe these are brandywines. And then this one, those 3 are Romas. I think I made a mistake. I meant to do all 4 Romas there. I'm pretty sure this one right here is an Amish paste. It will be fine. And then this is some kale that overwintered that, again, I'm just letting go to blossom, something to give the pollinators. And then I'll harvest the seed from that and have some more kale seed. it is amazing. The longer I've saved seeds, it seems like the plants that you save seeds from, they're used to your soil, your climate, your whatever, and it just seems like they do better. So I'm going to continue saving seeds. It is kind of a fun thing to do, just to see, hey, does this work? And you know what? It usually does. All right, I think I'm running out of daylight. I'm going to show you 2 more things and we'll end this video. And hey, I may even get it up tonight, 2 videos in a row. Now this next bed is, again, save seed. There's a kind of corn. I'll actually have to look up the kind because I can't quite remember what it is, but it's like perfect for small gardens. I'll insert a picture of it here somewhere right about now. It's a very small ear, like it would fit across your hand. You might be a little bit wider than the palm of your hand, but the plant doesn't get really big, the ear doesn't get really big, and it produces, I think, in like 60 days or something like that. So all these rows is that corn. Last year I had this planted, and I'll throw some pictures in. And it did really well, but it happened to be that we were on vacation the week that it kind of came in, so we got to eat some of it, but we didn't get to eat it all. It just got too tough. It wasn't real enjoyable to eat, so I just left it in. We fed some to the chickens, and then I just left some to finish on the ear, and then just took that off the cob, had a little half-pint jar, and I didn't even use a fraction of what I had. I actually ended up sharing some with some coworkers, so they can get the joy. And I actually might try to do a second planting, since it's only 60 days to produce ears, when I take out the greens, or if I take some other part of the garden, may end up turning into corn here soon. It's hard to say with me. All right, and last thing, we've got our salad greens are finally rolling, our kale. Now this is something that's a little disappointing. It stayed so cold so long. This is our arugula, that it didn't really get rolling, and then we had a week of 80 degrees, and arugula does not like heat. So that is, that is it blossoming. It's starting to bolt. I may let a little bit of it just bolt, so that it, again, produces flowers for our beneficials, and it's just something beautiful in the garden. Collect some seed from it and then feed it to the chickens, because chickens love arugula. And then there's just more lettuce, more onions, radishes. The radishes have been really disappointing this year. I don't know what the issue is, because the past couple years we've been doing great with those. I'll figure it out at some point, but at the moment I don't know. So that's the garden right now. We're getting rolling, I think, pretty soon. Let's go find a good place to sit down here. I think right here, with these yellow flowers and this trellis in the background, seems like a lovely place to sit. Once I'm sure that we're pretty warm, that we're going to stay out of the 40s or stay out of the low 40s, I'm going to get peppers in the ground. Once, I have to look up the temperatures for sure. I'm sure that we're good and warm. We've got sweet potatoes that are going to go into the ground. Those slips are doing fantastic. I'll probably follow up with a video on the update of the sweet potatoes. It seems like people are kind of liking those videos. So we'll go from there. Oh, I forgot one more thing. There's always going to be one more thing. Oh, this is another bed of tomatoes I didn't show you. I'm sure I'll get to. So these are just string beans that are coming up. There's a whole row of them right there. And my tomatoes are right behind those. Brassicas all the way down here, or actually all the way down, some Brussels sprouts. I've got it a goose coming out. Oops, he fell over. Come here. Okay, so I have a confession. I hate string beans. I have a whole line of them planted, but I hate string beans. I hate the texture. I just hate them. I always try to plant them. I always try to like them because there's something that are so prolific. Here's my plan on the string beans. I've mentioned that I've just started doing some fermenting in the last year. I really enjoy it. And I have found that I do like string beans as dilly beans. But those are pickled, and it's just not worth, getting the canner set up and all of that unless you have a lot. And I've never been willing to give enough space of the garden to string beans since I don't really like them that much. So I don't have a ton, but you can make fermented dilly beans. So that's my plan this year, is to do some fermented dilly beans, maybe play around with them a little bit more and how I cook them. I'm a real big texture person, and there's something about the texture of a cooked green bean that just doesn't sit well with me. So I keep trying different ways to prepare them, but I do think I'm going to like the dilly beans. So I'm going to end it there because I've got a goose that needs mommy snuggle. And it's getting very dark. I hope you're having a wonderful night, and we'll see you on the next video. Do you want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye.